show respect to the squad, that's a big up. I want my money in the grave, first we gotta dig up. They know exactly who I am, ain't no mix up.
So yeah, we back with another M&O hot topic, and this topic is gonna make Cicero very upset.
Very.
Because he has fans and I don't. So his loyal fans all know that my boy was interested in talking and in the process of writing a script for Scarface 2. And unfortunately, we've gotten news that it's already in the makings, man. What you think about that, bro?
I'm so disappointed, man. A lot of people. So the first thing that came up, like on Twitter and IG, people saw that there was a producer for it and immediately said that, oh, it's a classic, it doesn't need to be remade. And that's not necessarily true. You can't, remaking a classic is not against rules.
And I don't like the term remake when it's supposed to be continuous.
It's continuous, you know what I mean? I hope this is not a remake. Like I've told you before,
bro,
a remake will be bad. This is one of those movies.
Tragic.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that does not need a remake. But like I've told you off camera before, this is one of those movies, if you actually dig into it, and I'm going to get into it in a second, it's not a remake, but you can continue this movie. And my script was continuing this movie. So they have a producer for it. I'm trying to find the name of the producer right now, but there we go. His name is Luca Guadagnino. And it says Scarface Reboot. I don't know reboot. I don't know if that means remake or continuation. I'm going to assume reboot sounds like remake. And if it is, I'm not watching the movie because I'm just not going to do that. Michael B. Jordan is being casted for the movie. And like I've told you before, as much as I love Michael B. Jordan, I love Creed. I love what he did in not Avengers, in Black Panther. Michael B. Jordan is one of the best young actors in the game right now. But I don't think he's a guy to play whatever they're going to have. Because Scarface has to be a Hispanic dude, man. Which you can't have. And if you do something other than a Hispanic drug dealer, it's not really Scarface anymore. It's something else. So as much as I love Michael B. Jordan, I don't think he's the guy for this film. What you think about that?
I'm gonna let you go on because I want everybody to hear what you have to say about your script.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not completely sold on you, boy, Michael B. Jordan as a great actor, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay. That's shocking.
I think that, and please don't kill me, people. I think that if it wasn't for the sex appeal, I know I might sound like a hater right now. But I think if it wasn't
now you got the fresh cut today. You looking good, bro.
if it wasn't for the sex appeal, the ladies and everybody wouldn't have made such a big deal about him initially, other than the fact that he was in Black Panther. And Black Panther was bigger than just him because everybody couldn't wait to look for their black superhero.
Yeah, so, Black Panther was, oh man.
So Black Panther, people even were wearing dashikis to the movie theater, which to me still doesn't make any sense.
The thing with that movie is it wasn't so much about the movie, it was the impact that that movie had on black culture.
Bingo.
They had never really had a black superhero to look to before. Even though they have superheroes, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of superheroes the black community loves. I'm pretty sure they love Iron Man and Spider-Man and stuff like that. But like a black superhero, that was the first one they really had to look forward to. So it was the impact more than anything.
Exactly. So I think he got catapulted because of that. And I'm not dissing him as an actor. He's a very good actor, but to me, he's not as great as everybody say because, okay, when I was watching Creed,
I love Creed, by the way, man.
I love the story of Creed, but I love the story of Creed because he's Apollo's son.
Okay.
Because of how much I love the traditional Rocky theme.
Which are classics,
and it broke off from that. But him as an actor himself, bro, I just think he overacts a little bit, especially when he was in the ring getting beat up and not, to me, sometimes he's just doing a little bit too much. And not to say he's a bad actor, but to me, I just don't see him as Scarface, bro.
Okay.
No.
I don't either.
And I heard rumors that they had casted Denzel for it.
For the other one, and that one fell out. And I'm glad it fell out because Denzel is a legendary actor, but he's another one of those guys. And he's already been in a mafia movie.
I'm not trying to say American Gangster Part 2.
Part 2.
Scarface.
Yeah, nah.
No. Like if you come out with American Gangster Part 2, then yeah.
That's different. You could pull Michael B. Jordan in American Gangster Part 2, and it'll be dope.
He could be like Denzel's son in the movie or something.
But not... Scarface needs to be somebody who could play off Al Pacino. You know what I'm saying? Because Al Pacino is one of my favorite actors of all time, one of the best. you can't completely switch, and it's not necessarily a color thing. It's the kind of actor you are. Michael B. Jordan doesn't have any type of Hispanic background at all. He's African American.
I don't remember too many black people other than
You talking about in Scarface?
Other than the Jamaicans?
Probably in the Jamaicans in the movie, yeah, that were like cooking and stuff. That was probably it. That's the time period.
You know, like now, if we're talking about Belly or something like that,
yeah.
possibly. But how does, for people who don't know, there were no black folk on South Beach back then. Only black person that was on South Beach back then was Muhammad Ali, because he was boxing on the beach.
Because he was Muhammad Ali. And
he was boxing. They used to have a boxing ring, theater on the beach.
On the beach, yeah.
I guess people don't, put those things together, but there was no black people on South Beach. That didn't exist.
South Beach was still on the come up back then. It was in the 80s. That's what a lot of people don't know. Miami's called the Magic City because just the way we grow as a city. We've grown really, really fast since we came around.
So to come out with a Scarface reboot, no, I don't even like the name reboot. No
reboot, no.
And to me,
I don't like Scarface 2. I don't like the 2 part. I don't like that either. No, I didn't have a title for mine, like a full title yet. I did want to keep Scarface in there, but I wanted it to be Scarface something else. I wanted it to have a title that meant the movie. So the way I'm gonna get into my script, because I know a lot of people who follow me are like, oh no, they took this away from Cicero, and they did. And you know what? It's still a chance it could fall out because it fell out the first time. So that's what I'm praying for.
And then we still might shoot ours anyway.
Yeah, I'm still going.
I don't like the whole idea of.
Here's the backup plan if it doesn't fall out. This movie completely fails, and now I can come out with the real one, and then that one blows up, and people forget about this one. So the way I had the script was, a lot of people, and I think you remember the scene. A lot of people probably don't, though. Elvira, who used to be with Frank in the movie, the original drug dealer that Tony Montana worked for and eventually killed. I'm not saying spoilers because y'all should have been watching this movie by now. She eventually she gets married with Tony. Everybody knows that he proposes by the pool. Like one of them, it's such a Tony Montana propose because he doesn't even get on a knee or anything like that. And they have this scene where, he's already established, he's big, he's rich, cocaine empire kind of guy. He's having a rich dinner, and he's really the only drug dealer in a room full of rich criminals, because rich people are criminals. They're just silent criminals. And she's sitting there. He bought her an expensive dinner. She didn't eat it. She's over here sniffing her cocaine and stuff like that. He basically, long story short, he snaps on her, and he says to his friend Manny, who was at the table, I can't even have a kid with her because the drugs have messed up her womb so much she can't even have a baby, right? But that was never officially confirmed in the movie. That was kind of Tony just saying that. And what a lot of people don't remember is that was the last scene that she was in the movie. She was mentioned her again. Never mentioned her again. They never said what happened to her. If they had said what happened to her, I probably would have been able to start another script. But that was it. She just left, and that was it. We don't know if she died. We don't know what happened to her. They never showed her again. So the way I wrote it was that about a month before Tony was killed, Tony actually got her pregnant. He was able to finally get her pregnant. And then, he ends up dying in his house or whatever. But I wrote it as she gets pregnant. She goes through so much because back then, abortion was a little different than it is now. Back then, you had to go through different steps to get abortions. You had to get approvals to get abortions. It wasn't pills. It was more of so like a treatment kind of thing. And I wrote it as she had a friend that was in the medical industry that was testing out these new abortion pills. And she was able to get Elvira to go ahead and try out the pills and kind of be her plug to try out the pills. The pills don't work. And I basically wanted to create the picture of, this is Scarface's son. I was going to play his son, by the way. And I wanted it to paint this picture of his mom and the world had tried so many times to make sure this son wasn't born. I wanted him to come out looking like a fighter. You know what I mean? I wanted him to come out looking like he had to work his way to the top the same way his dad did. Because if he's born and he's born in a rich lifestyle, there'd be no point in making a second movie. I wanted,
got you.
You know what I mean? I wanted that because I think that's what people most love about the first one. Was that Cuban struggle that Tony had to go through while still being a badass the whole time. And I wanted to paint that picture. So I wanted him to look like a fighter coming out that his mom had tried to abort him so many times. His mom had no connections after Frank died and Tony died. His mom was kind of left to just be herself. And I wrote it. I even did research on Elvira as the character. She's born from Baltimore. She went to Miami looking for her dad. She had a sister, so I wrote it as her sister comes down from Baltimore to come live with her to help raise.
And don't
Tony's
give them too
kid.
much now, because we still might have to film this.
All right, you right. I'm going off now. But I basically wrote it as it stays in Miami. It takes place in the early 2000s. I wanted him to be young because a lot of people don't know Tony's actually like 40 something. I wanted Tony's son to be like 20. It would have made no sense to me to make it in the 80s or 90s because his son would have been a kid. I wanted him to be a young adult growing up in the early 2000s Miami. And watch the movie for the rest.
and I need people to understand, like I said, I just don't,
That's not a remake, by the way. That's a continuation.
Yeah. And when it comes down to your boy Michael B. Jordan, like, I don't want nobody to think I'm hating, but I'm going to give you a list of actors. And I want you guys to tell me your opinion as well. Because I hear a lot of people talk about how great of an actor he is. So, I'm going to compare him to some of our top black actors, and you tell me.
Of all time or like current?
Current, all time. And tell me, do you think he's even close?
Okay.
Number one, we're going to start with Denzel because he was, casted for the same role.
To me, Denzel and Will Smith are my two favorite black actors of all time.
Not even close. So
Not
we
even
could
close to those
include
two.
Will
Sorry,
Smith
Mike, but
that.
nah.
Let's even go back. Do you think that Michael B. Jordan is even close to Samuel L. Jackson?
Nah.
Not even close.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
That's another nah.
Let's go a little bit more current. Lorenz Tate.
Maybe a little close.
A little close, right?
Little close,
but not there yet.
But not
right?
there yet. But he's closer than he is to the other ones.
Terrence Howard.
I think so.
You
I'm
think
not a big fan of Terrence Howard.
You're not a big fan?
I'm not a big fan
Hustle
of
and
Terrence.
Flow?
I'm not a big fan of Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard's got a lot of roles I'm not really into.
Well, I could give you that.
He's a good actor though.
He's a good actor though.
But I'm not into some of his roles though.
But let's start right there with Terrence Howard, Hustle and Flow, which I think is one of his best films. Because
I agree.
I don't think he ever got those full roles to be a lead.
Yeah. Isn't he also in Empire? Or is that
The TV series.
The TV series. That's him in
movies though. I don't think he's
Oh,
ever
okay,
had
movies,
a leading role as big as he had in Hustle and Flow.
Probably not.
Now, if you put him in the same category with Michael B, give him the whole role, what you think?
I still think Michael got it though. Because you want to know why? I got to give the benefit of the doubt to Michael because I've seen Michael in leading roles before.
There you go.
Michael B. Jordan's been in leading roles before, so I got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Idris Elba.
Oh, no, I love me some
You see what
Idris
I'm
Elba,
saying?
man.
You see
I'm
what I'm
biased
saying?
towards Idris Elba. A lot of people don't know Idris is actually British. He's not American. Idris is one of because I love so many Idris movies. He was an American gangster and stuff like that.
Bro, I
love
see
me
him
some
playing
Idris
in
Elba, man.
Scarface 2 before I see you,
I could,
your boy.
yeah. I could see it before that, yeah.
Easily.
I have faith in Idris Elba. That's, it's a little different. I'm biased towards him. I love him.
So, it's just like, when you start going down these lists of different actors, you know what I mean? Not to say he's not good, but to where they put him immediately.
So you're talking about to where people rank Michael B. Jordan versus where you actually have him ranked?
Yeah.
Because that is true. People do have him up there on that list already, which he probably shouldn't be there just yet.
Not from Creed.
Not from Creed and Black Panther.
Black
not yet.
Panther was good, but when we talking about acting, straight acting, straight acting.
Who's your favorite black actor on that list that you named?
I like Idris.
Idris, that's your favorite one on that list?
On that, well,
mine is probably Denzel.
I would say all time it would have to be between Denzel and Will because Will always been one of my favorites, but I Am Legend to me separated him from everybody because when you talk about leading role, he was the
by
only
himself.
role.
Yeah. So I could easily sit here and convince myself that Will's my favorite actor. Denzel just has just been in some of my favorite movies of all time. So that's why I give it to Denzel. But Will, the thing I love about Will, and I have this talk with my dad all the time. The thing I love about Will is Will has so many, not only classic movies, he has not only so many cultural impactful movies, but they're all different roles.
Bingo.
Will rarely plays the same character. Like, Will was in Independence Day and Aladdin. That's like two completely different spectrums of the acting world. And he killed both of them.
Bro.
You know what I mean? And Independence Day, people don't know, is like one of the highest grossing movies of all time. He's been in Independence Day. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is probably one of the most popular TV sitcoms of all time. He's been in iRobot, I Am Legend. He's been in Aladdin. I mean, he's been in every role he plays is so different from all his other roles, and he does well in all of them. He has this sense of knowing which characters to pick and knowing how well those will do. Because Denzel has played a few characters that are kind of the same, that are kind of similar. Like I think there's like 3 Equalizer movies and stuff like that. Like there are characters he's done that are the same, but Training Day is one of my favorite movies of all time. American Gangster is one of my favorite movies of all time.
John Q, I think when his son needed to leave the heart transplant.
The heart transplant, yeah.
And then see, Denzel has, like you said, Denzel has done some of my favorite movies. Denzel's list of movies, even the ones that didn't go big, were great.
That's where I separate, because I'm not so caught up on winning awards for your movies. Is your movie good or not? You know what I mean? I don't even care if your movie's big or not.
And I wonder if that plays into the fact of choosing roles too, because a lot of times you might just have the right role or the right fit, you know, versus, and that brings us back to our point, the right fit, because Michael B.
is not the right fit for Scarface. I don't think so.
I don't think it helps him.
And I don't know if being casted actually means that he's accepted the role. I think being casted kind of means that that's who they want. If he hasn't accepted it, I hope he declines it, because I don't think that role is for him. I just don't.
I really hope not, and if he does, hey, pull it off, bro. More power to you.
No, yeah.
Pull it off. But I don't think it's a...
Oh, man, Will Smith has been in Ali, too. I forgot about that, bro. Concussion, also, the football movie. What? I think I might like Will more than Denzel. That's what I'm saying. Like, Will's amazing.
We want you guys to let us know, man. Who you think who is your favorite male black actor of all time? And we're gonna switch this up every week. I want an Hispanic actor. We're gonna do it all, but today we're gonna start with black actors. And I'm talking about from Denzel to Eddie Murphy, Forrest Whitaker, Morgan Freeman, Samuel Jackson. We could throw Cuba Gooding Jr. in there.
That's a good one. Cuba's Fox,
fire. Michael Ealy. People are
sleep on him. He's good as well.
Sleep on him, bro. Like, when you go down to this, man.
Cat Williams he's probably my favorite comedian. Cat Williams.
Bro, I could even see Lawrence Fishburne playing Scarface too.
Yeah, I could see that. I could. I have to look hard.
He could have been that one black person who was in the first one. You know what I mean?
Who's your favorite black comedian of all time? I'm curious.
Black comedian.
Yeah, I think my favorite black comedian, and I have a lot, because I don't care what anybody says, black comedians are the funniest ones. I think Chris Tucker is probably my favorite one, because I'm so in love with the Rush Hour movies.
Now, we talking about movies or stand-up?
It could be either.
Red
Fox? Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. Watching Red Fox movies are like watching Martin before Martin. If you ever get a chance to sit and watch an old Red Fox television show, bro, the way he would rank on people and get on people was no different from how Martin went at Pam.
Yeah.
And some of the same jokes that we heard on Martin and Will's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all that came from Red Fox. Red Fox. Bro, I was shocked watching some of those old shows and be like, wait a minute,
I heard this before.
Martin said this so, you know what I mean? So when you started talking about comedians, I'm gonna say that, and I used to sit around with my grandparents, because I grew up with my grandparents, and I used to sit and watch his shows a lot. So he was like the first person who I really got to see that was really, really funny, old black guy like that. Yeah. But, I think Kevin gets a bad rap.
Kevin Hart?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why. The first time I saw Kevin Hart and paid attention to him was in Paper Soldier. And that movie was funny as crap to me.
That old school one. Well, not old school, but old school on his movies,
I think Kevin has done so much that people are just tired of him.
I think they've laughed at him so much that they don't really want to laugh anymore. They want to laugh at someone else.
And I don't think it's because of him.
Nah.
I think Kevin is one of the funniest actors that you will ever see.
One of the most relatable too. Like his jokes are jokes that like people be like, yo, that's true. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those guys.
People have just seen him so much and so fast and so rapidly that they've gotten tired of him.
Yeah.
But if you really, really subjectively judge Kevin, the dude is a great.
He's hilarious.
Comedian. He's funny, bro,
and the most successful of all time too.
And he's deserving of it because he's hardworking.
Yeah, hardworking as hell, man.
So that he's one of those guys that I think just doesn't get the credit because we've gotten used to him.
And I'm interested to see him step into more serious roles. He's slowly doing that, I'm noticing. He's doing it. He's not doing it all at once. He's taking it like maybe one movie at a time, stuff like that. But I am interested to see him try to step into the serious role just a little more, just to see if he can expand there, because he's a good actor.
I got one for you.
Ooh.
Now, since we talking about Scarface too, now I want you to think long and hard about this. And I want you to think about how he's played in different movies. And I think people would be sleep on him to play this movie.
Okay.
You ready?
Who?
The Rock.
To play Scarface, bro? Oh, no.
And I want you to think hard about it, because now, think about The Rock being funny. Eliminate the funny part.
The Rock definitely can play different roles.
Eliminate the funny part. Think about him in Fast and the Furious. Right? Now, let's think about him in some of those other movies where he actually had to play a serious role. Plus the look.
He was good in those too.
Plus the look that he has.
All right, here's what I think, though. I think he could have a role in the movie. I don't think it could be the main Scarface role, though.
Main Scarface role.
I think he's a little too old to play in a continuous role. Now, if you want to do a remake, do whatever you want with the remake. I'm talking about a continuous role. I think he's probably a little too old to pull off a continuous. I'm not saying he's super old. He's only like, you know what I mean? But it's like, I feel like a continuous role should be with a younger person.
But he has the look to say that he was part of the first one as well.
He could. That's why I said he could have a role in the movie. I think he's a little too big to play the main guy, because the main role is supposed to look like a normal drug dealer.
I got you.
He's a little too big to play that role. But
that.
he could definitely, like, let's say I'm playing in a movie and, like, I got a henchman or something like that. Or, like, I got, like, one of my right-hand men be like, hey, yo, go take, like, he could definitely play in the movie. You know what I mean? Or, like, I could, like, he could, like, play as, like, a tie, like, where he knew Tony in the past and stuff. Like, he could have a role, but I don't think he could play the main role, though. Just because he doesn't fit that as he should. But he definitely could have a role, though.
I feel you on that. I can't argue with that.
And he'll make that movie huge. If I could get The Rock in that movie, it's like an instant hit, bro.
Hey.
It's like guaranteed I'm going to go, like, #1.
Bro, I don't think The Rock gets enough credit for his diversity in movies.
Yeah.
He could be sitting there dancing in a tutu.
Yeah, that was in whatever that football movie was he did back in, I think it's called A Game Plan or something like that. Yeah, that was a good movie.
It did in the next movie be a hitman, bro.
Yeah,
like,
The Rock is great,
talented,
and he pulls it off being 6'6" and huge, man. The Rock is so underrated.
Very underrated.
It's crazy how he's like the most successful and he's still underrated.
So, you know, we want you guys to tell us who you think should be the main role in Scarface 2. Young Cicero is an option as well.
Yes,
people.
I am. The option, by the way, but go ahead and let me know who you want in there. I'll consider it.
Also, let us know who is your favorite
black actor of all time.
We'll
do Hispanic next week. Maybe like it's white next week, or maybe we'll think of something. But let us know who you think are your favorite black actors of all time.
100. So me and Cicero will be back with another M&O hot topic.
Yeah, been doing this for 2 years, don't tell me I'm impatient. Compare me to Ross and I'm LeBron in my generation. I'm only second to the MJ of my town. Purple rain weather, I'm the prince of the crown.